Hey guys, it's Austin here from Backpack NV, and welcome to Lahontan State Park and State Reservoir. This officially starts the next 2-year goal for me personally to visit every single Nevada state park, to do some cool backpacking trips, to do some motorcycle trips in the summer, and take you guys along the ride with me. So I've actually been to this place before, been here a couple times, but never since I started this journey, and never since I've been filming. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, because we're gonna have a lot of fun. All right, let's get after it. So Lahontan is actually a reservoir. It was created by a dam, which is a couple miles up the way here. I'm probably not going to hike that far, but you can see water levels all the way down here, and you can actually see these bumps and then the color variations all the way up to that top line there where the trees are. And that's actually the top water mark. I've been here when that water is all the way up there, and this lake is significantly bigger. And in the summer or in the spring, when the snowfall starts melting up off the Sierras, the Carson River swells, and this whole lake fills up pretty quick. This lake was actually dammed and is used for irrigation water. That's the only real reason it exists. It's used for irrigation water for the entire Fallon Valley. And it's one of the most fertile places in the state of Nevada. This water provides irrigation water for the entire valley for the whole year. And they rely on the snowpack to fill this lake up every year. So we're getting towards the low water mark right now, towards the middle of winter. It's pretty low, but makes for a cool place to come hang out. Right now, it's not too bad. It can get pretty windy out here, but hopefully the wind holds off for us. Layers. Got another example here of just how big this lake gets. That right there is a buoy, because we're so close to the corner and we got this little no wake zone right here, and that buoy's probably 25 feet from the water right now, and you can see how long that chain is. It just shows you how deep this thing actually gets. All right, I made it to the first little point out here, and I don't know if you can see, but right back there is the Narrows, where it starts to go back towards the dam. It's probably about a half mile, so let's see if we can get over there and take a look, because that's one of the cooler parts of the lake. And out here you can really see just how big this body of water can get. I mean, if this thing was full, the water would be probably 2 feet over my head. And you can see just how big this body of water could get. And out here in the summer, it gets pretty busy. But in the winter, when it gets a little cold, there's not too many people out here. So I pretty much have the whole place to myself. Someone's having a lot worse of a day than I am, because that's one of the life flight helicopters. It's based out of northern Nevada, so probably flying down to Urinton to go pick someone up and hopefully get them to the hospital in time. I almost forgot about this. So see this little canyon behind me? It's actually a wash coming off the hills. And a couple years ago, we were out here with the National Guard, and we actually did a little mock evasion course where we were evading the enemy, who were obviously friends. And we came through here and evaded and hid in the trees and everything. And then the Army Guard actually flew some of their Pavehawks and picked us up from the water, which was really cool. So we bailed from the helicopters and they picked us up with the rescue equipment and pulled us out, and then flew us back, and we dropped off on the shore and had a little barbecue and had some drinks and had a good time. So if I can find some video of that, I'll link it in here. It was a pretty cool time. All right, I made it to that narrows that I was talking about. Right here, you can see how short that waterway is. It's probably only about 100, 125 yards wide, so not too crazy. Once again, you can just see how big this place would get. That whole little peninsula right there would be underwater, and just those tops of those trees would be poking out. But down there is the dam. You can't see it; it curves around that corner there, but that's the dam down there. There's another campsite area and some picnic tables and all that kind of stuff down there. But I'm gonna go ahead and hang out here for a minute and drink some water and enjoy the view, then turn around and head back. It is starting to get a little bit windy, but hopefully it doesn't go too crazy. And yeah, we'll see. The sun goes down about 4:30 right now this time of year, so we'll get back and set up camp and see how cold it gets. Just a reminder, when you're drinking water, don't go and chug half the bottle at once, because your body can't actually process the water that quickly. So take a couple sips, wait a few minutes, enjoy the view, take a couple more sips, and your body's a lot more likely to actually process the water than just to pee it out. And especially if you're in an area with limited water resources, in an area that's really, really dry. Even though, it's only about 40 degrees out right now, it's super dry out here. So you're going to be burning a lot more water than you think. So take it slow, sip on it. You're going to be likely to retain a lot more of that water than you are just to pee it out. And electrolytes help. So don't go chugging a bunch of Gatorade because it's got a ton of sugar in it. But, a quarter of a bottle, mix it in with some water. That's what I do because I like the flavor. I don't like plain water. And Helps you drink a lot more water and retain a lot more. Alright, so for the attentive among you, yes, this is not the same day as the rest of the video. My wife, who is 6 months pregnant, was not feeling so well, so she gave me a call, and I made the decision to head home. So thankfully this spot is about 30 minutes from my house, so it wasn't too big of a deal, and I was barely set up, so threw all my stuff in my truck, took off, and spent some time with her. And I'm now paying the price, because as you can kind of hear, I picked up whatever bug she was dealing with. So sorry if I sound a little stuffy, because I am. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set up and get my stuff set up. I'm not strictly backpack camping while I'm out here right now, so I've got a couple of nice things that I don't normally have if I was just backpacking. This ground cloth is one of them, and you'll see a couple more. And why not make it as good of a time as I can, because I don't have to worry about the weight, because I'm not backpacking. All right, so this is the Eureka Solitaire. This is a one-man backpacking tent. Total with the poles and the stakes weighs like 2 pounds and 8 ounces or some crap like that. Not sponsored by them at all. I've used a bunch of their tents, both in the military and in the civilian world, and this thing was on sale for like 60 bucks. So I literally could not pass it up. And as you can see, it's a little coffin-style one-man tent, and in a pinch, it does have enough room that you could wedge your gear back there in the rain fly, but out here it's supposed to be pretty warm and pretty dry tonight, so I'm not really too worried about that. And got a couple other necessities that I need, and get this thing set up, and we'll get a fire going and get some food going. Police up your bags, otherwise they'll fly away and you'll hate your life. I always just stick them at the bottom of my tent. Like I was saying, is I'm not strictly backpacking this trip, so I can get away with things that I wouldn't normally
carry with me because I'm not really worried about weight. So this is my backpacking pillow, but I brought another one because why not? I'm basically camping out of the back of my truck, and I'm really not worried about weight or space. If I was backpacking, I would just bring that little inflatable pillow, but I'm not. So I can bring 2 sleeping pads and 2 pillows and some good food, and be a lot more comfortable than if I was just backpacking and bringing the bare minimum because I was worried about weight. Digging up what was clearly an old campfire pit here, and it's got a couple of rocks around it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. Someone else already did most of the work, so makes it easier for me. Little camp shovel here, and gonna gather some more of the big rocks here and get a small fire going. All right, a little fire break there and get this thing set up. Like I said, it's not supposed to be super cold tonight, so not gonna worry too much about this thing, but it'll be nice to have. All right, so I got this fire pit almost ready to go, and the beach here is pretty sandy and rocky, so fires don't really like to light on nothing, sand, rock, stuff like that. So if you find a piece of old charcoal, wood, anything basically, even a metal can, it's going to light a lot better than it's going to light on nothing. And charcoal actually acts as a pretty decent fire starter, so this shouldn't be too bad. Everything out here is really dry. The whole beach is covered in little sticks and leaves and twigs and a bunch of bark from the cottonwoods. So cottonwood bark burns pretty darn well, so let's get this thing going. All right, let's go ahead and let this thing rip. So got a piece of old charcoal here with some cottonwood bark and a cotton ball that's soaked in petroleum jelly. And these things usually light like that. Super, super easy. And they burn for a pretty decent amount of time as long as you don't smother them. Always hold on to your lighters, stick them in your pocket. The one problem with everything being so dry is that will burn really quick. It'll burn pretty hot, but it'll burn really quick. So you gotta make sure you have enough wood. This isn't a life-sustaining fire for me. I'm not gonna freeze to death without it, even if I didn't have the fire. It's only supposed to get into like the very high 30s tonight, but it's gonna be nice to have. I'll sit by it, and one of my buddies should be showing up here pretty soon. So be nice to have, give off a little bit of light and let us shoot the shit and talk about stuff. And I'll go up and down the beach and grab some twigs and some bigger branches when this thing gets a little bit of coals underneath it, and keep this thing going for a couple hours and kick it off before we go to bed, because I don't need it to cook. I brought my stove, so be nice to have, and you know, little ghost story situation later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sit here and stoke this fire and take the view in a little bit and wait till the sun goes all the way down and fire up some lights and get some dinner going. A little hungry, but should turn out to a pretty good night. Taking a little stroll down to the water's edge here, and normally in the summer the water is way up, but you can see big old fire pits and a lot of beer cans. There's some pretty rip-roaring parties out here in the summer when it gets hot. This beach is pretty sandy, pretty flat, and pretty smooth gradient all the way down, so you can easily get boats and jet skis and all that kind of stuff in here. And that video I put in with the helicopter, when we did that, we all hung out on this beach, and we had a good time. So definitely a lot of people think this stuff coming out here and you know, staying out under the stars and all this stuff is it's weird. You know, it's hard work, but I'm out here by myself. I'm having fun. This is kind of what I do for giggles. And it doesn't have to be hard work. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be something that you do in the summer. It doesn't have to be something you do with your family. It doesn't have to be something you do with your friends. It's completely inclusive. If you want to do it with your friends, if you don't want to do it with your kids, if you want to do it with your spouse or your family, or yourself, you come out here. Most states, especially out west, most states have state parks, state recreation areas, places that you can come out, a lot of times for free, if not for free, for very little money, and you can be out in the wilderness. And I say wilderness, you can see over my shoulders there's a little town with a couple of casinos and some bars and restaurants, but that's a couple miles off, and I might be able to hear the highway every once in a while, but I'm out here by myself. There's no power, there's no running water, and the bathrooms are closed up for the winter. I'm out here setting up myself, cooking my own food, taking care of myself, and having a good time. So if this is stuff you want to do, find excuses to do it. If not, don't find excuses to not do it. I'm just going to go ahead and comb the beach a little bit and find some more wood and keep an eye on the fire while I'm doing it, and keep at it. Sun's just about to go down over the mountains, and once it does, the temperature will drop a little bit, but it'll get really dark really quick. That's why I have my headlamp around my neck. You'll see a lot of guys do that because it's really easy to take off and go use the restroom or go down to the water or something like that, and forget your headlamp or a light, and then your little 10-minute trek turns into 20 because you get distracted or something, and all of a sudden you're without a light. So throw that around your neck when you think about it the first time before the sun starts to go down, and you don't have to worry about it. Well, I've been sitting here for about an hour and putting some more wood on the fire and keeping it going, keeping it nice and warm. And the sun's gone down and it's definitely cooled down a little bit. It's not too bad, but probably going to grab my jacket and throw that on and get some food going here pretty soon. And one bummer about the winter is the sun goes down early and comes up late. So quite a few winter hours, but it should be a pretty comfy bed, so hopefully I sleep pretty well. Well, it's pretty late, and just went ahead and crawled in my tent, my sleeping bag here, and gonna get some sleep. It got pretty windy, and couldn't get very good sound on making dinner and the rest of it, but calmed down pretty well. So my buddy Ben's here, and we had a couple drinks and talked some shit, and now I'm gonna go ahead and crawl into bed, and we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. Wasn't too bad last night. Woke up a couple times, tossing and turning, and I don't know if you can hear that, but it's raining, which is not ideal. But should be stopping here in a few minutes, and go ahead and pop out and break this tent down and get back home.
All right, well, that does it for the trip out here. And got everything pulled down and most of the water knocked off of it, but go home. And most important step about this, anything gets wet, you need to lay it out and let it dry for a couple days. So my tent, my sleeping bag, my tarp, anything that was overnight out in the rain, it's gonna get put up and dried out. But about a 30-minute drive home, and go ahead and wrap it up. Super important, always take care of your gear. I haven't even gone inside and eaten yet. Get this stuff hung up, otherwise you're gonna forget and you're gonna regret. All right, quick little gear update. Tent did pretty well. It's definitely not meant for rain. Anything more than a light drizzle would probably be pretty rough, but it did well. Held up to the couple of breezes that we got. It was comfortable. I had enough space. I had enough space to pull all my stuff in when it did start to rain. It'd probably be pretty tight with a pack in there, but you could do it, and you would be able to keep yourself and your stuff dry. Sleeping bag worked fine. Got a little chilly towards the end of the night, but nothing to complain about. Everything else went pretty well. So overall pretty happy with the first trip, and you know, a couple things to improve on, a couple things to change, but nothing I wouldn't do again. And once again, no excuse to not get out there and have some fun.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to jump on real quick at the end of the video here and kind of talk about who I am. My name is Austin Hull. I live outside of Reno, Nevada. I spent 7 years in the United States Marine Corps. I've spent 5 years in the United States Air Force and the Air National Guard up here. And I've always had a passion for doing stuff with my hands, doing stuff outside. And coming into this next year, I wanted to really focus on getting back outdoors and getting back into the things that I really enjoy doing. So I wanted to take you guys along with me. And whether one person watches this or 100,000 people watch this, I don't really care. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this for me, and I'm gonna bring you guys along with me, and hopefully some of you guys like it. So couple things. I'm gonna swear, I'm gonna say politically incorrect things. I'm gonna have a couple drinks along the way, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go to some really cool places that I have access to. We're gonna do some stuff that not everyone maybe is capable of doing. And I'm gonna do some stuff that will challenge me and hopefully is interesting to you guys. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you have any concerns, you wanna see something, something you don't necessarily like, go ahead and drop in the comments below, and I'll tag all my social media and everything. Hopefully some of you guys know me from my other channel and from some of my shooting adventures, which I've done for a really long time. This is something that's kind of new to me and something I wanted to do for a while, but I needed the kickstart. I'm having our first child, March of next year, and I wanted to leave something forward to her and to be able to show her that you know, it's 2024, 2025, and you don't always have to sit inside, and you can go out and explore and do really cool things for not a ton of money. You don't need a ton of really expensive gear. You just need a little bit of knowledge and some motivation, and you can get out there and have a lot of fun. And hopefully we can show you guys some of that along the way. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.